I hope everyone got in and that no one is still standing out in that rain. And I'm so surprised to see so many of you because it was really pouring today. And when I got up this morning and I looked out, I said, Roger, even the heavens are weeping. It is, as someone said yesterday, bittersweet to be here. It's wonderful to be here because I can feel Roger's spirit here at the Virginia Theater. It's like a temple for me at Ebertfest, and every place I look, and you may find me looking frequently at that chair in the back because, is someone sitting in the chair now? Oh, okay, all right. You know, whoever is sitting back there, I can just see the outline, the light is, and it almost looks like the outline of Roger, so I wish, but, and I look back there because whenever I was up here talking, he would be giving me signals. You know, sometimes I would say, what are you saying, or I can't, who am I supposed, he would tell me, he would be giving me stage directions. And so I'm going to miss those stage directions, and I know all of you join me in missing him. And I wasn't, thank you. Let me see. You know, we do announcements, and in case any of you miss any of the film introductions, questions or answers, or panel discussions, you can watch them all at ebertfest.com, or you can watch them live as they happen. But if you're in the theater, watch the stage, don't watch your computers. You'll also find the festival blog and links to Roger's far-flung correspondence, the most up-to-date photos, information about the films and guests, and archives from the first 14 festivals. And there is a special Remembering Roger page with links to some of the countless wonderful tributes to him, including a video, of the moving and inspirational April 11th tribute at the Chicago Theater. Didn't know that link was there. Okay. We have a special treat today because, one of the things that Roger was really insistent on was mentoring and teaching and educating and laying tracks for the next generation. And yesterday we had a film by Grace Wang, who was one of the far-flung correspondents. Today we have a film by Sophie Kohn, and if you recognize the last name, it's because it's Nate's daughter, our festival director. And yet, Nate would like for you to know, and this is true because I watched the process from the beginning to the end, it's not nepotism in the sense that Roger was the one who chose her film for the festival, not Nate. And Nate didn't even know that Roger had chosen Sophie's film. Roger saw it, he liked it, he wanted it to have as a short, and he wanted to have it preceding a film by Paul Cox, because as you'll see, that Paul Cox played a role in Sophie's film, and also I think part of it was actually shot at his beautiful villa in the south of France. So, last night, things were kind of a blur, and I didn't do justice to our guest for Days of Heaven, Haskell Wexler. I think I told you, and you have to make sure that you get the programs, because the program this year, my daughter Sonia and I were marveling that this image was chosen. And this is the image from Life Itself. The paperback edition of Life Itself, Roger's memoir, is different than the hardback cover. And the paperback edition shows him sort of sitting alone in a movie theater, watching the film, and you just see him from behind, and lit from behind. And, you know, it's just all the more poignant now. At first, I didn't know whether I liked them choosing this, because I said, Roger never watches a movie by himself, or, I mean, he does, but usually either if it's in the screening rooms, the critics are around, or if it's here, he's watching it with you, or at home, you know, we invite someone over. And yeah, sometimes for work, he actually does have to watch them alone, but then that's usually in a private screening room, not in a movie theater. So I didn't really want to have this image as the poster cover, but now, in hindsight, it's the perfect poster cover for the program, and I'm glad. I'm glad it's there. What I was going to say about Haskell Wexler is, if you look on the inside cover of the program, you'll see that Roger dedicated the festival to him and said, cinematographer, director, activist, still fighting the good fight. Some of you didn't realize that Haskell Wexler is 91 years old. We celebrated his 90th birthday last year, and Roger was there when we celebrated his 90th birthday. And Haskell has been, he's one of those guys who was a visionary in a lot of things, not just in civil rights and social justice, but also in eating healthily and eating, like, you know, raw foods and healthy foods and juicing and all of that stuff. And so now at age 91, he can get down on his knee and get up better than almost anybody in this movie theater. I couldn't believe it. And so he also, he's just very sharp, and he's still shooting movies. He shot a documentary in Chicago last fall. He and the director, Andrew Davis, the director of Fugitives and Holes, one of the movies we showed here at Ebertfest. And, you know, Haskell was nominated 5 times for Academy Awards. He won for twice, for Bound for Glory, and what's the other one? Virginia Woolf, thank you. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? But he's done so many things, and I just wanted to make sure that you get a copy of the program and honor Haskell and Roger properly. Okay, now let's move on to the next generation and bring out Sophie Kohn. Is a mass media arts and sociology major at the University of Georgia. In 2011, she started the production company Sophie Shorts, under which she made the short film Blink. In 2012, in London, she collaborated on an 8mm movie titled The Liver. She is also the director of Ebertfest, her university's annual film festival. Her co-director, Feike Santbergen, is from the Netherlands, and he finished film school in 2010 with his 45-minute graduation film, Solely Here. He went on to co-found Philos Film Productions, under which he wrote and directed several shorts. His French-Dutch short, Core Accord, was selected for Best Debut Completion in the 2011 Dutch Film Festival. Will you please help me welcome Sophie Kohn and Feike Santbergen.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. Well, this is Sophie Kohn. I am Feike Santbergen. Sophie told me to pronounce it slowly. We wrote and directed the short film To Music that you're about to watch. And after the opening of the festival last night, I felt like giving a short introduction. I wrote it down, just scribbled it this morning, so forgive me for reading it, otherwise I'll mess it up. I am at Roger Ebert's Film Festival for the first time. Sophie has been around for some time already, and so has our dear friend Paul Cox, who has directed the feature you're about to see and also features as a priest in our short film. Yesterday in the car from the reception at the President's house to the theater, I said to Sophie that this first meeting felt like being introduced to a new family. Everyone seemed to know each other and everybody was connected in different sort of ways. Chaz being the warm center of the family, keeping everyone together. Something I can imagine so well Roger did for all these years. And when we got back to the theater and the guests were called up to do a sing-along, it was a complete family reunion. That was really why I want to say this is because it humbly made me realize why Sophie and I have the great honor to show our short film here, because our film was also made in a family of enthusiasts and lovers of film, but in our case, on a tiny scale. We were in the south of France, and the people you'll see in the film and us happened to be together for some days. And there spontaneously we came up with this story and shot it in 2 days in a spray of collective madness. And although Sophie and I initiated this film, Paul Cox has been the warm center of that film family for a long time. I've known Paul since 2007 when I met him in Holland and ended up with him as an intern in Australia. We've been friends since. Sophie known Paul her whole life. I think I speak for the both of us if I say that Paul has changed and guided us in many ways, and not just as filmmakers, but as human beings. Now being here, I see how Paul and Roger are connected in their gift of bringing people together through their love for life and film. And so I am really glad to share our little film with you here, especially being honored both to be here and to screen together with my mentor's film, Vincent. I can say about this new family I meet here, I like this family. And before I leave, I'll love this family. So, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Roger, and thank everyone right here. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry I have my computer up here. Things have been a bit scattered this morning. My sister actually has been trying to get here from New York for, I think, over 24 hours. Her flight got canceled, and then this morning she ended up in Chicago, and it was a mess. But she actually is here. She got here 12 minutes ago. So I'm very happy because, like Feike emphasized, is about family, I think, and I'm very glad she's able to be here. But yeah, I was just thinking about what to say, and I was looking back through some emails with Roger, and I found one that I think is very fitting to read, especially because Paul's movie is showing, and Paul's in our movie, and it's all interconnected, and I think this email sums it up. So I wrote this, I think, in 2010, so I think I was 19, and I had never really written Roger an email before. Okay, so I said, "Dear Roger, the other day I asked my dad, Nate Kohn, if I could write you an email. I hope it's all right that he gave me your address. My first memory of you was when I was about 10. It was after your annual panel discussion at the Cannes Film Festival, and my dad asked if I could have a picture taken with you, and then if my sister could have one taken with you, and then if my mom could have one taken, and then if we could all have one taken together. It's a funny and vivid memory because I remember being embarrassed and wondered why we each needed our own individual picture instead of just one. Every year after that, I would see you once a year at Cannes moderating a panel that he used to do at the American Pavilion. And then 4 years ago, when I was 16, I finally got to come to Ebertfest. After that festival, I couldn't believe I had missed 7 years of previous ones. Over the past couple of months, I have begun constantly and obsessively checking your Twitter updates. Yours is the only page I look at. I have yet to get an account of my own. I've also been reading all of your blogs and movie reviews, watching old episodes of you with Siskel and then with Roper, reading recent articles written about you, and I joined the Ebert Club. I'll just stop there and say I am a fan. I wanted to write you because you have been such a huge influence to me. Your name has been in frequent use in my house for as long as I can remember. You've always been around. When I was little, and it was getting close to April, all I would hear was Ebertfest, Roger, Chaz, movies. And I knew what my parents were talking about was something magical, but I didn't know why. Your books also took up entire shelves on our large bookcase, and we have thumbs, Walk of Fame, Ebert stars, and posters scattered about the house. I knew those books were important, and the thumbs represented something special, but I wasn't sure why. Over the past couple of years, I've read these books, and I've gotten to know you through your writing. I really feel like I know you, like I really, really know you. I feel like you're one of my best friends. Is that weird? I'm embarrassing. Anyway. Through this process of getting to know you, I was reassured that my instincts were correct. I feel like I have finally discovered what has been there all along. I've wanted to be a filmmaker my entire life, and I've known that, but that's all I'd known up until recently. There has always been a love and comfortable familiarity of movies for me, just like there has been with your books on my shelf and poster on my wall. But now there is so much more than that. I realize why it is important to be a filmmaker and why I must pursue it without compromise. I can't believe how corny this sounds, but Roger, you have truly inspired me through your words and through your intense love for stories with empathy, stories that allow you to see things from another's perspective. I've written with Paul Cox on and off over the past couple of years. He's like my crazy but oh so cool uncle. And countless times he has mentioned you and your strength that you have passed along to him. Paul's films are about the human condition. They encompass beauty, pain, truth, and art in a way that most films do not. They show true love and raw emotion through simple stories like the love one can have for a flower, or a painting, or a dance, or for an old friend or lover. His films and his guidance changed my life. This is long, and I wouldn't blame you if you've already stopped reading, but I'm so glad I have the privilege of writing the people whom I admire the most. I hope one day I can make a film that is worthy of your eyes and your time. Much love to you, and please send my love to Chaz as well. See you at Ebertfest in a few weeks, Sophie. So I thought I'd share that with you. Enjoy both films. Thank you.